Well, how's everybody doing? First off, I want to show you before and after clip of the good transmission will be the first clip. The transmission that just came out of this will be the second clip. A lot of you wondering why I'm swapping the transmissions. This thing had a really crappy transmission in it. I've done burned it up. It works good, it shifts, but it didn't shift quick at all, and it was missing gears. You know, the 1-2 shift was okay, the 2-3 shift was horrible. Couldn't get down the racetrack like that. The work truck that I got that I haul scrap in had a really good transmission in it. I thought it had like a whole bunch of miles on it, but turned out that it's an actual GM remanufactured transmission. That transmission turns out to not have 306,000 miles on it. It turns out to be a remanufactured transmission that I did not even realize was in that truck. So that's a newer transmission, an actual hydromatic. Can't see that, take my word for it, it's a hydromatic. So yeah, I got the stall converter in it. It's a 3,000 RPM stall. It flashes around 3,500 with a 410 axle and a blower. So yeah, I got that in there now. Everything is done. The only thing I got left to do is exhaust, and I'm thinking about what to do for exhaust, but everything's in there, everything's done, everything's bolted up. It's ready to drive, you know, right now, except for exhaust. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do about that. The old exhaust was kind of rowdy. I mean, it's just, I'd like to be able to drive it a little bit, you know, without getting arrested or pulled over. But the old exhaust is kind of, you know, that's pretty good size exhaust. Not a whole lot of muffler, and you can wear this muffler as a sleeve. You know, literally can stick your arm through this exhaust. Like, I don't know if you can see the exhaust pipe behind my hand there or not, but you can stick your whole arm through that. So that's obviously not very quiet. It sounds amazing. I love the way it sounds. Don't get me wrong, I love this exhaust, but it's heavy and it's loud. And I would like to be able to drive this around a little bit and enjoy it, and maybe hear the blower whining instead of the exhaust scaring old people and small children. So anyway, there's y'all a quick update video, and yeah, I'll probably just edit in the before and after clip of the transmission. I'll just edit that in about now probably, so that way you can see. The first one will be with this transmission, the one that's in here now, in the work truck, and the second one was the transmission that just came out of here in the work truck going to work. And yeah, it's got different exhaust on it. I've got to fix the exhaust. It's pretty loud right now, but it's just, it wasn't a good transmission, and the one I put in here seems to be a new one, so I lucked out on that. Transmission test before I take it out. Got a few miles on it. That'd be alright. It's a little slow in the third. Fourth gear's fine though, it's okay. We'll just not shift into third fast. We'll just baby it a little, you know. So this thing ought to be really awesome now. That transmission, if you look at my very first video, the very first time I drove this, it went first gear, second gear, neutral. Like it didn't, or it just would stay in second. It just wouldn't shift into third. It wanted to hold in second. And the whole time I've had this truck, I've battled it Going first gear, second gear, second gear, second gear, second gear, rev limiter, rev limiter, rev limiter, rev limiter, third gear, or neutral. You know, it just wouldn't ever shift like I wanted it to. So hopefully I just fixed that problem. And if I just fix that problem, I'll be able to put that thing on the rug and keep it wide open all the way down the track, and it'll be awesome. It should be real fast, because I've never, that old transmission that I just took out of here, I've never been able to go really full throttle without it slipping or missing gears. So I'm pretty sure I can just go wide open throttle now and open it up and see what it'll do. So it ought to be a whole bunch of fun at the racetrack this year. So anyway, enough rambling. Here's the before and after clip or whatever of the work truck transmission swap, and obviously you'll see the after video of this, but the before video, you know, browse my channel. There's like 40 videos of this thing missing gears. So no more of that. I fixed that problem. Now the question is, run the MSD setup that I got that cost a whole bunch of money. Run that to run the transmission and do it right, or do the setup that I got that already works. Because all I got to do is plug that in. And all I got to do is plug that in, really. I have to take the throttle position sensor off the work truck, and I'll have to rig the work truck up to shift manually or buy another remote throttle position sensor, which I'd rather not. That's like 120 bucks. So I got to do some deciding on what I'm going to do to shift this transmission. I can plug it in right now and run it the way I had it, or, you know, if I had that display with the MSD setup, I can have a speedometer, which that's important, and I can also have a, you know, be able to see trans fluid temperature, be able to change a whole bunch of different aspects of the way it operates. So I'm thinking about hooking that back up. All I got to do is, well, you can still see that little blue square right there is where it used to be mounted. 3 wires go to it, then a cable goes to the carburetor. It's pretty simple. So anyway, I'm rambling. I'm kind of excited because I'm getting this done. So I'm going to do exhaust. I'm going to edit this up real quick so you guys can watch it, and I'll see you all in the next video.